How about a few Windows keyboard shortcuts? I've put together a couple of them for you, and I think you'll like them very much. First of all, let's learn about snapping a window to the left or snapping a window to the right. Now remember, we learned to do that with our mouse in our previous set of videos by clicking and dragging the title bar of any program and dragging it to the right or to the left. Let's do it with an Excel file. I'll simply grab the title bar and take my mouse and shove my mouse all the way over to the right, and you'll see how Windows Snap works. And then I can choose one of the other programs to perhaps fill the other side of the screen with. To undo that, I simply grab the title bar and drag it back down. But as I promised, there's keyboard shortcuts for that. So here we can see snap a window to the left side of the screen by holding down the Windows key. Remember, that's that key on your keyboard that looks like a Windows icon. A Windows key, and then tapping your left arrow or your right arrow. Let's give it a try with Excel. I'll click on Excel. I'll hold down my Windows key, and I'm going to tap my right arrow on my keyboard. Boom, it snaps it to the right side of the screen. Let's do it again. I'll hold down the Windows key and hit my left arrow, and boom, it snaps it to the left side of the screen. And of course, if I want to snap one of these other windows, I simply click it, and it will fill the rest of the screen with that window. And to recover from that, or to put it back the way it was, simply grab the top of the window and drag it back down. So I'll pause for a few minutes. I'd like you to pause and go try your Windows Snap left and right. And remember, whichever window is active, when you hold down that Windows key and hit the right or left arrow, it'll snap it either to the left or right side of the screen. While we're talking about keyboard shortcuts, let's try a couple more. Perhaps you've got Word or Excel or PowerPoint running, or any other program that for that matter, and you'd like to maximize that window. Well, we know that we can maximize a window by using this button right there. Or there's a shortcut if you want. You can double click on the title bar, which will maximize the window as well. Not a lot of people know about the double click. That's a pretty cool trick. Another way to maximize a window is actually grab the window and drag it to the top of the screen, which is called Windows Snap. And when your mouse hits the top of the screen, it'll snap to full screen. You grab it again and drag it back down, and it restores the window to its size. But this is about keyboard shortcuts. Let's look at the next two keyboard shortcuts. Holding down the Windows key and tapping the up arrow or the down arrow. So let's go over to Word, and I'll hold down the Windows key and tap the up arrow, and sure enough, it maximizes the window. Hold down the Windows key and hit the down arrow, it'll restore it back to its normal size. And if I use it again, Windows down, it'll minimize the window to the taskbar. Let's try it again on Excel. Windows key up, maximize. Windows key down, restore. Windows key down again will then minimize. If I'd like to get back to Excel without using my mouse, remember from our earlier lesson, Windows tab will bring up a dashboard of all my currently running programs, and I can simply click and access the document, the program I want. So once again, pause your video and try your Windows key up and down arrow to maximize, restore, and minimize any window on your screen. To introduce this next video about keyboard shortcuts, I'd like to remind you of what we learned way back in the beginning of this video series about your virtual desktops. Multiple desktops that we have available in Windows 10, easily accessible using this icon right here. Or we can use the Windows Tab key to bring up a list of all the programs that we have running along with our virtual desktops. If you don't see any icons down here at the bottom of the screen as I do, you could easily add virtual desktops by clicking on the New Desktop button over here. So let's try that together. I'll click on the task view, and I'd like to move Excel to this virtual desktop, and I'd like to move PowerPoint to this virtual desktop, and then Word to this virtual desktop, and then finally when I click on New Desktop, you can see how